That's right.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all for listening in to tonight. Begin to Talk LLC and Power 106.3 FMKY Radio presents Begin to Talk Radio. I am your host, Elisha Durrett Johnson, and thank you all for listening in. If you're tuning in on Facebook Live, thank you for watching us. You can watch us every Thursday night at 7 p.m. at Begin to Talk LLC. I will make sure that we Facebook Live stream all of those, all of our shows, so that you all can also view them. You can also go on KY Heart Media, and that is on iHeartRadio and Spotify. So if you go on iHeartRadio and Spotify at KY Heart Media, you can also listen, and you can also listen in at kyheartmedia.com. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Tonight we're going to have, before we go ahead and get started, we need to go ahead and shout out some of our sponsors. The first one we have up is Dope Designs by Nanny. Dope Designs by Nanny provides excellent t-shirts, and you all should go with them. Facebook, IG, and Twitter, you can find her at Dope Designs by Nanny. The web is dopedesignspbynanny.com. Also, we have Blood Moon Jewelry. For your herbal and energetic healing tools, we have bloodmoonjewelry.com, and you can also find them on IG at Blood Moon Jewelry. We have Diamond Elite Design Customs. You can find them at Facebook at Diamond Elite Design Customs. And also, finally, last but not least, is brought to you by Begin to Talk LLC. We are here for all your mental health, your personal life coaching, and business consulting needs. You can find us at begintotalk.com, on Facebook at Begin to Talk LLC, or at Twitter and IG at Begin to Talk. Let's see. All right. Today we are going to go ahead and get started. I want to go ahead and give an introduction to myself. A lot of folks may know who I am, but not necessarily what I do, right? So Begin to Talk LLC is the business that we started, and I'll go into a little bit of why and how we got started. That's an awesome story. However, right now, as far as a little bit about myself, I am a mental health counselor. I have a degree in a Master's of Education in Counseling with a concentration in clinical mental health. I am also currently in a PhD program at the University of Louisville. Shout out to the Pan-African Studies Department there. They are awesome. So I'm getting my PhD in Pan-African Studies. I have a background in working with clients that deal with trauma, OCD, anxiety, depression, couples relationships, couples therapy, different kinds of things, but I pretty much deal with all of them. I'm used to dealing with different populations and the sickest of the sick as well. A little bit more about myself and about the business Begin to Talk. Begin to Talk was founded by my late husband, Jawan Johnson. It's kind of funny how that story also is going to tie back into our entire theme of today, which is trauma and grief. However, my late husband, I met him about 14 years ago, and he's the love of my life. We have a total blended family of 9 children. Yes, 2 people in grad school can have a blended family of 9 children and still be successful. Shout out to Black Love. So we met 14 years ago, and he just kind of swept me out of my feet, and he's been my rock and everything that I saw my future through his eyes. That's literally what it was with Jawan and I. And we had a very strong bond and a strong connection. We finally tied the knot last year on September the 23rd. So September the 23rd, we tied the knot, and it was awesome. It was the best day of my life, but the most stressful day of my life at the same time. We were married for about 7 months, and on our 7th month anniversary, is when tragedy struck us. We were both in a horrific car accident. Horrific. And from the results of that car accident, my husband was in the hospital for about a month and a half. And then my husband passed away on my late father's birthday, the late Reverend Marvin Durrett. But he died on my husband's birthday. On my father's birthday. It was a very traumatic thing for me to go through, not just with the car accident and all the memories that come from that, but also with dealing now with raising four small children of my own and a blended family of 9, right? So that's pretty much where we were. And now, a blended family, meaning my 4 children. I have an oldest of 14, and my second youngest is 12, and she'll be 13. And then I have a set of 3-year-old precious, very energetic twins, all of which miss their dad very much. So, needless to say, I've been through some traumatic things myself, even as a mental health professional, and dealing with those things and processing that entire experience has been a different experience for me as a professional. Knowing things, knowing cycles, educating folks on those is one thing, but when you have gone through it yourself, it's a complete other. So that's another reason why this is circling back today, talking about trauma and whatnot. I wanted to make sure that I introduced our special guest. We have a couple of folks with us tonight. First one here that we're going to introduce is Amber Ritchie. Amber Ritchie is a cousin of mine. And it'll all tie in. I don't just invite family on the show, and it is for a reason. So I'll tell you a little bit about that in just a moment. Hi, Amber.
How y'all doing?
You want to say anything to anybody right now? Hi.
Hi, family, friends.
Hi, family, friends.
Big head, everybody.
My other guest to my left here is my other cousin. Again, I don't have nothing but family on, I promise you. However, today it's going to tie back in. My other cousin, Brittany Hinkle, is also with me. Say hello to the people.
Hey, y'all.
You want to say anything else, or is that about it?
That's about it.
That's
right
about
now.
it.
Yeah.
All right. So I invited Amber to the show, and I'm going to tie this all back in because she has also gone through traumatic experiences and the recent loss and death of her brother, which is also my cousin. And we'll talk about that story in just a bit. Brittany was an avid support system. About 2 weeks in to me being in the hospital, she came and stayed with me. I was there for about a month and a half, a little bit over that, and she stayed the entire month plus with me in the hospital, kind of taking care of me in the situation, but also being there and checking on my husband, and just every day, spending the night at the hospital with me every night and making sure that I had someone to talk to. So thank you so much for that.
Well,
I know
I
thanked you, but thanked you before, but I had to thank you again. Okay. So I do have to give a disclaimer and stop for just 1 second, because I do not take trauma nor grief lightly. And so I do want to give a disclaimer and a warning to some of our folks that may have witnessed and or experienced trauma in the past. It is a very real thing. Trauma affects everybody differently, and there are different types of trauma. That is very, very imperative to point out, and I want to make sure that I continue to say that there are different types of trauma, and everybody is individual and handles them in their own way. So we will provide a suicide hotline number. I do not believe that a lot of folks will need that, but I just want to do that just in case. And also, if anybody ever needs to talk to me or give a shout out in any kind of way, or need any help, or just want to discuss trauma related issues, you can also inbox me at Begin to Talk, and or email me at info@begintotalk.com. Okay. So now that we've gotten that part out the way, I want to kind of flash forward to recent trauma and recent traumatic events that have happened, and kind of frame the rest of our conversation. So I've already discussed the traumatic events and the trauma that I have had in the past with my own husband and losing him and his loss, and not necessarily how that affected my children, because I didn't go into that, but how it does individually affect everyone differently, and it did individually impact me as well. So I kind of want to flash forward to recent events that have happened. My family is wonderful, and they have wrapped their loving arms and support around me, and they invited myself and my 4 children to a recent family vacation in Florida. And we were there, and while we were there, we went down to the beach one day, and the day when we visited the beach, we weren't there not even 15 minutes, and we had a tragic accident where I lost the life of my cousin, Stefan Ritchie. Stefan tragically drowned, saving the lives of his children, and ensuring ushering in his boys to safety before the waves and the current kind of overtook him, and he wasn't able to make it. That entire experience really impacted our entire family, all in different ways. All of his children except for one, Stefan had 6 children, 5 of which were on the vacation and at the beach with us. Additionally, my 4 children were at the beach. His sister, Amber, who is with us today, was at the beach. I was there. And his uncle was also there. So 10 children, including his uncle's daughter, 10 children witnessed a traumatic event, something that they will have to pretty much deal with and work through, not necessarily for the rest of their lives, but may come up and impact them in different parts of their lives. Okay. That is kind of heavy to segue into. However, it was very necessary. So in dealing with trauma and in dealing with different things in life, I just want to kind of pause for a second, because everybody handles things differently. And I believe that there are good things and not so good things to do if you're wanting to help someone who's been through a traumatic situation as well. I've gotten that question a lot. However, this story made national news. It even hit Fox News, and shout out to everybody who gave love and support that helped out and contributed to that GoFundMe as well to help bury him. So, saying all of that, and I do have tissues at hand, because I'm sure that I will tear up, or anybody else in here will, because this is a real conversation. However, I just kind of wanted to turn the attention to you for a second, Amber, and ask you a couple of questions. Just not necessarily how you were doing, because that is probably the most asinine question to ask at this time. However, just to check in with you and see what are some of the helpful things that folks have been doing.